Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to Bitcoin New York. Today is 11th of June, a little bit past 8 p.m. The daily charts and 3-day charts have closed, so I would like to share to you guys about what's going on. The title today is Bitcoin Right Now. The thumbnail is a little bit based on the volcano in El Salvador. A lot of people are looking into Bitcoin right now, as I'm seeing on Twitter, so today we are getting into Bitcoins, Ethereums, Cardanos, Ripples, and IOSTs, all in US dollars and Bitcoins. And at the end, I will check the total Bitcoin market cap and Bitcoin dominances. So today is Fear and Greed. Let's get into this. Today is at 28 on the Fear. A little bit of the cash is flowing into the market right now, comparing to what have been in the last few days. So around 28 is pretty much the point of number it's at right now. Right now it is 25 past 8 p.m. So let's get into this charts for now, starting off with Bitcoins in US dollars over here, in the daily charts over here, starting on a little bit of a sell over here. And yesterday it was a little bit on the downside over there. It's kind of a sideways fluctuation over here, as you can see over here. And I have got some trend lines up down. And after it goes, it breaks through this triangular trend pattern over here, I think it will make some change in the behavioral pattern of this chart. And it will probably go up to about 50,000 after it has gone through the triangular pattern over here. And looking at it a little bit more of a different kind of perspective over here with the Fibonacci lines. And it is a little bit like this. I think there will be a possibility of hitting around 84,000. And the lower parts, I don't know. So what about the lows? How low will it have a volatility of? Probably next price would be 35,000, 35,616 would be the next number over here. It's a little bit in the pocket right now, so I think it's a little bit of a fluctuation, a little bit more in the future. And the EMA line's heading a little bit downwards. So as far as if it hits the EMA line, if any of the candles hit the EMA line, that would be a good sign over here. And the 3-day charts, it's been on a rise for the last 3 days. So I think there is not much of a room for it to be going lower on this charts over here. Yeah, and it's I think it's a little bit of a directional change happening over here, hence the candlestick going higher than the last one that was getting lower. And it's probably going to be a pattern of going down a little bit and then bouncing up after that at 50,000 over there. And today is the second week, I think. There is a little bit more days into this, so it's a matter of what happens at the end of the month. So that is the overall situation that is happening right now. So as far as that, like a little bit more time, and I think the EMA line is going up after that. I think there is going to be, I wouldn't be very surprised if it goes down after this. And the Fear and Greed is at 28 right now. So there has been, I think it's because of some of the media that was happening right now with some stuff over here. And let's just keep an eye on this. So tomorrow and day after that is the day the weekly chart's closing. So yeah, and that day the 5-day chart's closing too. So I think after those charts closing, I think the overall direction is going to be set for another while. And on the 4-hour charts here, looking at it on a little bit smaller charts over here, it's just following the same pattern of the triangular pattern that I was showing you before. And yeah, it's just moving in that, just closing in on that lower volatility over here. And let's get back to the 3-day charts over here, and let me get this out of the way and look at the RSIs over here. Yeah, it's pretty much at the bottom of there, the RSIs. Yeah, so this is on the base of the trend line basically. And it's pretty much at the lowest point considering the RSI. It's kind of made clipped out on that bottom part over there and heading down. It's kind of facing down over here. Even on the daily charts, it's yeah, a little bit of the same kind of clipping at the bottom a few times over there, and it's yeah, it's kind of fluctuating sideways actually, just like the candlesticks. And the weekly charts are where I'm really looking out for right now. So maybe it might go down a little bit more again, maybe clip it out like it was on the daily charts. So that is the line over there. Yeah, there are some resistances on the earlier parts of that RSI. And as long as I can see here, there is a lot of rising force on this charts. And over at Ethereum, it's still moving in that triangular pattern as far as I can see here. Still a little bit clipping at the bottom of there. I think it's just gaining some velocity at the bottom of there before it goes up again. Probably at around 2277. Yeah, the stock RSI is at the bottom, so I don't think there is going to be much of another sell-off in the future. And it's pretty much at the bottom of the RSIs, and there is a good resistance on this line, so I don't think there is necessarily going to any sudden sell-off over here is going to happen. Yeah. And this has been on the play since about 2 or 3 weeks, and on the 3D charts over here. And yeah, it's pretty much the same as you can see here. There is some of a dead cross happening over there, but there is a resistance happening. So I don't think there is much to worry about. A lot of you have said on the comments that have ethers and kind of concerning about this situation that's happening right now. But I don't think there is much possibility of selling off actually. Probably 2177. Even if it were to get lower, I don't think that's much of a possibility, honestly. Or maybe I could get it in a smaller charts. Let me get the Fibonacci out of the way and the trend line out of the way. And let me line it up again over here like this, as you can see. And yeah, even if it goes down, it would probably be around 2070 or around 2000. Or 2191 would be more of a realistic number, in my opinion. So that is kind of the situation of this cryptocurrency right now. And even on the 4-hour charts here, probably 2191 would be the next number that it would be hitting if it were going down after this. Yeah, but I don't think that would happen until it goes through the resistance line over there. After it goes through 2309, then it would go down to 2191. But it's a little bit of there's a lot of resistance here. Yeah, if it goes down, that would be a pretty good chance to buy. And Ethereum's and Bitcoins over here, there is a resistance there. It's kind of making a double top over here, so I think probably in Bitcoin is the losing underdog over here in this situation, which is it's just making too much of a high velocity sell off at that last part at probably around 54,838 or 59,548. I think those two numbers would be the next points that it will be reaching. And even looking at the 3D charts, it's pretty much the same over here. It's kind of trying to get it to get into a rising pattern over there, but probably the same situation as I can say in the daily charts. Yeah, it's pretty much been risen up for the last few weeks, I think. So I don't think there is much of a concern into this currency necessarily selling off in any way. And yeah, but a little bit weak on the Bitcoin parts nonetheless. And as I said before, I think it will make like a bull pattern before it goes up and reaches the next midterm fluctuation. And Cardano's, on the other hand, as I was saying before on my other channel, this Cardano is the daily charts over here. It's kind of fluctuating, which has been happening for a while, at around 1.2 and 2.0. So it's a matter of where you're going to enter and where you're buying and holding a position in this crypto. If you were to make orders, probably make a limit order on wherever it's selling off. So probably 1.4, 1.5, those would be the good numbers to be getting into. And until all the EMA lines kind of closes in on each other, it's kind of a hard place to make any sudden bets on this Cardano. Yeah, it's same in the 3-day charts. If it goes through that, it'll probably get into 3.4, 6.3, but that would probably take a little bit of a time to get into. So I think probably looking at it on a long term, it'll be pretty much a kind of a good investment. I was saying about Cardano in Twitter Spaces, and a lot of people have been saying about kind of looking at this in a 30-day or 60-day span kind of perspective because of the overall behavior and the AMA line that's taking place right now. And Cardano's and Bitcoins are pretty much kind of the same as Ethereum's and Bitcoins. But it's kind of trying to get higher than Ethereum's, but nonetheless, it's kind of the movement that's happening right now is a little bit of the same as Ethereum's. At 3,361 was the last price that it kind of went to, and that little spike over there. So after this kind of settles down, I think after that it will be a pretty good timing for Cardano. If you are trying to get in on Bitcoins, it would be 3,348 at the last two sell-off spikes that was taking place. So those two numbers are probably the key numbers to be getting into. And Ripple's is the RSIs on the weekly charts. And as you can see here, it's just a matter of time until it gets into a pretty good place. This trend line has been taking place since February of 2020. So as you can see in the 3-day charts, this was at time of Corona epidemic at December of 2020. Just made a high spike and went down after that. And after that, this is time of right now. And this is what it looks like on the 3-day charts over here. Let's get rid of this first of all. And yeah, this is what it is right now. This Ripple in US dollars. Yeah, I think it's moving pretty much in terms of play of the trend line over here. Yeah, like this actually, I think. Getting the actual trend line out, it's kind of like this. So I think it's gonna maybe fluctuate a little bit more in the near future. So probably the next directional change would be in August if this were to take place. And the daily charts over here is the EMA lines are kind of getting into place, kind of making the huddling together kind of formation again. And yeah, looking at this kind of enforces the concept of fluctuating to the sideways until August. So for those of you that are getting into it, just wait for that directional change after August and buy into the currency for a little bit, checking in on the if for any sudden movements and being very cautious of this. And yeah, so yeah, it's pretty much the same as the 3-day charts over here. So just gonna fluctuate for a little bit longer for over here. I think it's kind of pretty funny that it's kind of very predictable as this Cardano. And weekly charts is almost closing, so yeah, that would be another indicator for future orders on this currency over here. So I think it's very, very good overall. So in ripples and bitcoins, and I've put the Fibonacci lines out, by the way, and the 3D charts are looking like this. Kind of a little bit of a fluctuation on here. There is a lot of resistance on this Fibonacci, so I don't think there is going to be much instances of selling off for a little while. Probably 1,921, that might be hitting that number in the next movement over here, or 2,174. For those of you that are looking into it, probably going for those numbers and making limit orders would be pretty considerably well. And the RSIs over here are pretty much taking the same situation as some other currencies, which is, as you can see on the trend line over here, and it's going on a rising pattern over here. So probably a week or two, or actually about a month, I think, is until, if it were to fluctuate sideways, that would be the time it takes until it makes a bounce back upwards. And yeah, so it's about here at 47.43. So just waiting for that bounce back upwards for a little bit more while. And IOSTs in US dollars, which is a little bit, haven't gotten into this currency for a little while on this channel. This was a request made by a viewer. Yeah, it's kind of going for this number over here, I think, once again. It's already kind of try and went down, so I don't think it will go necessarily any lower than that. If it goes lower than that, that would be considerably pretty bad for this currency, but yeah, it's starting on a sell-off over here. So for the last 9 days, it's kind of making a bull pattern, so I think it's going to go follow that pattern again. And the RSIs are kind of facing down and below the trend line over here, so it's kind of oversold as far as this can say. And this has been taking place for a little while, starting at 2018. So I don't think this is gonna, I think this is gonna keep on taking play for a little bit more while in the future. And yeah, that is IOST. So just making the cup and rising up after that, and making a cup and rising after that. So it's kind of like a wavy kind of pattern. And I think probably 21 and 24 cents will probably get into it in the near future. I think those prices would be for sure the next prices that it would be hitting. Yeah, I think IOST is gonna be big in the future. And IOSTs in Bitcoins over here. So this over here, and looking at this, this is a Fibonacci that I've lined up for in a long-term perspective. And that arrow line is where the highest Fibonacci was. Oops, sorry about that. Let me get this line out real quick. I think over here, yeah. So I was wondering where it might go down to. So the lowest part would be probably 1.618 over there, or 0.786. There is a lot of resistance over here, so I think that's necessarily going to happen, but 63 would be probably the limit order price that if you were to get into any IOSTs in the future. Yeah, just right on that arrow over there. And this over here is a 3-day charts, by the way, and lining it up like this in a very long-term perspective over here. Yeah, so pretty much it's kind of lines up, these two lines kind of line up, so probably I'll probably close in profits on that part over there. I think that price is pretty strong over there. So yeah, if you try that out, for those of you guys that are kind of curious about that idea, I think it's pretty good. I think it's a pretty good idea to do that because, the facts are here, the Fibonacci, the lines are lining up over there. And yeah, I think it's a pretty good idea to do that. So if you were to do that, just make closing profits, and after it makes adjustments and sells off, you could buy that again, and that would make like a double profit for you. That would be pretty great scenario, right? And this is the crypto total market cap over here. Let me get rid of that over there. Yeah, so this is the weekly charts. The 3-day charts are looking like this. The 3-day charts are mostly, for the most part, at the bottom over there. And the weekly charts over here. So as you can see over here, it's at 2016, 50. So it's at the same place as 2016 right now. So I think that's it's kind of taking play over there. It's a little bit kind of going down or sell off and kind of making a little bounce over there. But I think there's going to be a little bit more of a adjustments over here at about July, I think. So I think it's just going to make a little bit more adjustments for the next month, I think. Yeah, this is the volume over here. So there is a lot of cash flowing in the market comparing to like last year. So, and this is the market cap Bitcoin dominance over here. It's kind of at the bottom over here at 46%. And there is a lot of so it's at 50-50 right now. About stock SI is kind of trying to go trying to go to the top of there, and this pattern, it's kind of falling over here. I think it's gonna try to go down first of all, and probably make a bouncing pattern after that. And yeah, probably I think that is the overall situation happening right now, considering RSI and the stock RSIs that's kind of at the bottom and trying to go up, and the chart that is trying to go down but kind of fluctuating sideways. So I think it's just gonna maybe go down and go up again. And right now, a lot of the NFTs and that currencies that hasn't been very loud in the recent news, those are kind of gaining market dominance. So I think I said this on Twitter a little bit while back, but a lot of people are looking at the NFTs right now, which is kind of crazy in my opinion, because I didn't think that it would get that much market coverage as I thought, because there was almost no market coverage in like maybe last year or like the year before that. I don't know the exact timing, but yeah, I think it's just like kind of mind-blowing for me. And I think it's NFTs are actually kind of a good investment now. It's kind of more than a pump and dump. It's kind of a legit business. So that's all I have for you guys. Subscribe and like for more. Thank you guys, and have a great night.